Let's do it.
Okay. Live. The
It's
intros
the-
are the hardest part.
It's the fucking pod.
Welcome to the pod.
Welcome to the pod.
It's kind of late today. Just me and Sean.
Just me and Sean.
You're Sean.
Me and Kaipo.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Gotta stay consistent and at least drop an episode, even if it's, not with everyone.
100%, man. And I think it's good. It's good to have that like creative.
Outlet.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like we can just be. You could even podcast yourself and just talk to yourself on stream.
I've thought about it, but that's just still a little bit too weird for me.
Yeah.
Like, even like what I was saying with like the one-on-one stuff that I wanted to do, like I was thinking about it and I was like, I don't know if I'm socially, what's the word I'm looking for, able.
Mm.
Like I don't want it to be weird.
Is this weird?
No, I mean, because you're Sean. Like, if I have other people though, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's just kind of an odd feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I think that I agree. You kind of have to like build the rapport.
Yeah, which I mean, like, everybody that I was gonna get on an episode, like I feel like we can shoot the shit with, but it's still a little bit different. Like outside of the immediate,
Yeah. Yeah.
group.
Yeah, no, I feel that. But I think I mean, like you are getting out of your comfort zone, which is good.
Yeah.
I think what's really fucking crazy, or not crazy, but it's just like weird, is like interacting with new people. Just in general, like.
Mm-hmm. How do you think the first people became friends?
Probably out of just like necessity.
Yeah. And then, I'm just thinking about it and I'm like, dude, it's so hard to do that now. And like in our day and age, like you can pick up on like social cues and body language, but like the first people ever alive, like
Yeah. Yeah.
they didn't have any of that information. So
Yeah.
how the fuck did they do it,
Yeah. Yeah. Also, too, like they learned a lot of things, like deception,
Mm-hmm.
lying, betrayal.
I feel
And
like
also like like laughter and like love and
yeah. It's just really weird because like I can't imagine it because like even now like I feel like I have trouble with it.
yeah. Yeah. Do you think it's like, I mean, you said it yourself, right? Like you have like anxiety.
Yeah, like social anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know when that started, to be honest.
Yeah. What makes you like, I mean, run me through what that's like,
Being anxious?
or just like meeting a new person.
I don't know. It's like I feel like it's more of like a trusting, Like I don't know if I can like I have a hard time at trusting people, I
Uh-huh.
guess,
Yeah.
Like I don't want to out myself
Uh-huh.
or like I don't know cuz like dude, people are not everybody, but like dude, there's some bad people, man, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like they have like secret motives or they're just trying to deceive you. Maybe not. Maybe that's all in my head. It's probably all in my head. But I just can't get around that type of thinking.
Mm. Yeah. I'm just trying to think, like, was there anything that...
No, now that I think about it, there's really no like example of what I'm thinking that has happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
it's just I'm so fucking like what's that word? Not anxious.
Guarded.
No, not guarded. Like fuck, dude. Why am I blanking right now?
Pessimistic.
Well, I am pessimistic, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Like I'm always fuck, I can't think of the word. It'll come to me like mid podcast, and I'll just shout the word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll
So
happen.
you feel a certain type of way,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna fucking bother the shit out of me now.
It's not anger, right?
No, it's not anger. I'm trying to think of the word. I'm shooting blanks.
Tell me about it, bro. But no, I mean that's that's interesting too, because it's good that you don't have experiences where like trust has been, like, your worries haven't been validated
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the most part, is what you're saying.
yeah. To be honest, I think it's more like the social aspect, like the battery, your social battery,
Mhm.
like what we were talking about earlier. Like, I have to be in a certain like vibe in order to like
Yeah.
operate,
Mhm.
and like most of the times with like new people, I can't. It's
Yeah.
really hard.
There's just too much energy.
I feel like that's why people always think like their first perception of me is like I'm a dick. And it's not my fucking fault. It's my social battery.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, 100%. I agree. Not that you're a dick. I mean, you are reserved. First meeting you. Well, no, honestly, like when you first met me, you were pretty chill. You were really nice.
Well, that's when I didn't give a shit. Like I wasn't anxious. I just living in the moment. And now, like, dude,
Yeah.
I'm. I feel like how long have we known each other? Like 10 plus years.
Fuck. That's a good question.
It's got to be like.
Dude, I'm fucking about to be 30. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been
dude, we turned 30.
yeah,
Well,
like 10 years.
yeah.
At least 10 years. 15.
Yeah, 15 years.
Yeah, 'cause I was
Yeah.
like 16 or 17 when I
Yeah.
met you.
It's crazy when I think about it. Like I'm so like similar but different from myself, from the version of myself 15 years ago.
You think so?
Yeah. Like I'm still like very similar, but like the way I think is like so different,
Mm-hmm.
and like the way I interact is also very different. Like I don't know what happened. Like are you if you were to like think back to yourself 15 years ago, how similar are you to that version of yourself today?
Yeah, no, I think that's 100% true. Like, so like for me, like, um, college kind of sucked because I realized how fake people can be.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
because like I had you guys, and like I could always like, you know, hit you guys up and just like we're hanging out.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
force myself into the group. But like moving away and going to college, you realize that like people aren't like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I get that, and that's also the reason why like I'm pushing back like my move date,
Yeah.
because originally I wanted to move sooner rather than later, right?
Yeah.
But like I don't know, I really deeped it, and I was like, bro, we're gonna be like on our own completely, and like without like a social backbone, it's pretty hard,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And like yeah, it is like putting yourself out there and like finding the people that want to keep you in their circle and type shit. And
Yeah, like the only thing I can think of like that would be a benefit to like starting over is like you can literally recreate yourself,
yeah.
right? But I don't want to fucking do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can be a whole different person,
Yeah.
but it's just that's so much like time and effort
Yeah.
in
It's
itself.
it's like building like a whole new mask.
Yeah, and that's exhausting just even thinking about that.
And that also brings up like a really good point of just like why aren't, not necessarily you, but just in general, people who do want to recreate their mask, right? Why do you feel the need to do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and it's funny you say that because I'm not gonna name anybody, but like I know people that like have just recreated themselves, like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just it's kind of weird. Not weird, not like anything bad per se, but like just knowing how different they became
Yeah.
in like a span of a few years,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
And I will say that, like, I don't know, like it is one thing, right, to just like be proud of yourself, you know, and have like your own self-worth. But I also think two people just want something different.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say as well. Like the self betterment aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know, like if they're doing it to like better themselves, then
Yeah.
like I can see that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like
It's a fine line,
yeah,
right? Because I think sometimes we don't realize what is ultimately driving the change.
yeah. You don't know if it's a positive or a negative thing.
Right. Whether it's like you hate yourself or because you just want to be better
You
for
know, I
yourself.
feel like it's the root is self hatred
Yeah.
for most examples.
Some level of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Because you don't like the situation you're in,
Yeah.
and you're attempting to change that, but in the process, you just become a whole different person,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You also don't know if that new person is going to be something that you like, and you don't know if you're going to force
You don't
yourself.
even, yeah, you don't
You're
even know if
if you're
that's yourself,
yeah, if you're
right?
forcing yourself, if this new person that you've created, you don't even know if you're ultimately going to love that new person,
Yeah,
or if that person's ever going to be enough, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like it's better to just
Mhm.
go about your day as like as normal as you can.
Mhm.
You know, that's just a lot of effort to like change yourself that drastically for it to be like something that you're not even comfortable with.
Mhm.
You know?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think too, at least what I've been learning is like, so like, to be perfectly candid, like I have like a like I'm confident, but the confidence is kind of built or was built on like, like achievements, accolades, like
Mm-hmm.
recognition from other people, blah 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 blah. And that in of itself is like fragile,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because it's like you can make a lot of money, but God forbid, something happens and you don't have it. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
that's all that you cling to,
Then
where
you,
is your self worth?
yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's interesting because like I was talking to GPT about it, about like,
You were talking to AI.
yeah, no, and it's actually like surprisingly like like
Pretty good.
it's nice. Like it it's nice because like you can kind of dissect things,
Yeah, yeah,
you
I
know.
guess so.
Yeah, and like ask questions and kind of get like a answer that's like feels real.
Somewhat knowledgeably backed and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And so it's like this idea of like, how do you break that fragility, right? Like, how do you develop that like self worth that's not based on, like these like,
Achievements and accolades.
yeah, things that are fleeting,
Yeah,
things that
yeah.
aren't forever, stuff like that, and it really just comes down to like just that we're human. And it's so weird to think about, like it's like such an easy answer. It's like,
Yeah.
you have worth just because
You're
you're you.
yourself. You exist, and
Yes.
that's should be enough,
Yes.
right? And that's the problem I feel like a lot of people have, right? Because like as a human, like everything you have is never enough.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what drives people to like I don't want to say insanity because that sounds kind of extreme.
But it makes people insane when you really think about like how like we just are so hyper focused on like the
Yeah.
shit that we want to buy, or like the things that you know.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, I'm guilty of that to an extent. Like, I feel like I don't really live in the moment
Yeah.
because I'm so worried about the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if I stop doing that,
Mm-hmm.
I may not have the best future, but I might have the better present.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like in
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But like stuff like that, like how do you let go of stuff like that, like thoughts like that?
Yeah. No, that's a good question. Um, Honestly, I just tell myself late. I mean, this is all new shit for me. So it's like I just tell myself I'm worthy now. You know,
Yeah.
the way that GPT phrase it is, think of a baby. A baby doesn't have all the accolades, doesn't have all the achievements, doesn't have, emotional maturity, whatever. The baby just has value because
It exists.
it exists.
Yeah.
And that's the foundation. That's your foundation. You know what I mean? So regardless of everything else, right? Your rights, your wrongs, you know, your achievements and your failures, all that shit. You still have worth.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I just feel like, when everything, like, it's easy to recognize your achievements, like all the good stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but like your failures too is something that you have to like,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're gonna fail, and like
Yeah.
learning to live with failures and mistakes is like
Mm.
a whole nother thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like it's equal though, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
as much as you celebrate your achievements and
Mm-hmm.
your accolades, you also have to put that same amount of thought and emotion into your failures.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's that goes into like, like, honestly, like the wins and losses, those are just like a bonus, you know what I mean, on top of who you are and yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean like when it comes down to it, it's life experience. It just adds
Yeah.
life experience, right?
Yeah.
So like whenever I pick up something new, or like let's say career wise,
Mm-hmm.
like I'll be trying to learn something or do something and I'm not doing it correctly, or like there's an easier way to do it, I'll always pick to do it the harder way,
Yeah.
which is dumb. But I always, and like I say this phrase a lot, but I feel like people don't actually think that I fully believe in it. But I use this phrase a lot at work. It's struggling builds character,
Uh-huh.
right? Because I mean, like, in order to better yourself, you have to go through a struggle,
Yeah, that
right?
is
And
true.
I mean, like, it's not necessarily me doing things the hard way, which fuck, for the most part, I do everything the fucking hard way, and it sucks. But I struggle through it, and I come out with more than I would if I had maybe taken the easy way.
That's fair.
You know?
That's fair.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, life is just figuring out 1,000 ways not to live,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Same thing with just like learning something new, right? Like you don't get good at something by just knowing how to do it. You have to figure out what doesn't work first.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know?
Right. Because I feel like if you don't figure out what doesn't work,
Yeah.
then sometime down the line, not just even career wise, just anything, any experience in life, if you don't figure out what doesn't work, that scenario is eventually gonna come, and you're just gonna learn it the hard way.
Yeah. And that's where like your inherent self-worth is what can ground you,
Yeah.
right? Just like being okay and being, happy with whatever happens.
Whatever situation you're in.
Yeah, yeah. Which is cool, you know. Um, but like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's why too. It's like it's interesting when people want to kind of change because it's like you could see both sides of the coin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like they're honoring themselves, right? But at the same time, you don't know. There's like risk to it, I guess, you know.
Yeah, like if I was to like maybe say an example of that would be like in a video game, you
Yeah.
know, like I don't know if you played like any RPGs or whatever, like you build a character
Yeah.
and you just get tired of that character, right? It's
Yeah.
same old shit every day.
Yep.
You know exactly how to play it and you start a new one.
Yeah.
And it's like you
Yeah.
know, it's good, it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's definitely like rough
Yeah.
in the beginning and you don't know the mechanics like how things work,
Yeah.
but it is fulfilling,
Yeah.
right? To get that new version of yourself
Yeah.
to where that original version was.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the thing is, like, if
It's a good
you're,
analogy.
yeah, right?
It's actually
Like,
a really good
I
analogy.
feel like that's
yeah.
pretty good.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah. But I feel like in terms, because we're just a little more complex than like a video game character, right?
Yeah.
So my worry would be like just straying too far from
Yeah.
my own morals.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say morals necessarily, but like the way I think
Yeah.
and the way I portray myself.
Yeah.
And it's like that. Like, I don't want to lose that because if I lose that, then am I really myself or am I just another character of myself?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I wonder too if like being multiple characters is a person too.
Yeah, that's called a personality, multiple personality disorder. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that. There was that fucking movie where the guy was like 6 different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I have a friend.
Who has that or is
Like her it's I don't even know. I can't speak on it, honestly, you know, so I'm not gonna say anything, but it's I don't know, dude. I don't know if I guess I don't really want to judge it because like everybody is, you know, kind
Yeah,
of has
no.
like their thing.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, I don't know. I feel like people can play multiple
Multiple
people.
roles?
Yeah, multiple
Yeah.
roles. And I think that's like flexibility in a way.
Yeah, you know, when I think about it, it could be a positive.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like you wear multiple hats.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's also like knowing your true self.
Mhm.
I feel like as long as they like deep down know
Yeah.
like how they feel, like
Mhm.
not as like multiple personalities or like
Yeah.
multiple different perceived people,
Yeah.
but like how they actually feel when they're alone and by
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah.
I feel like as long as you don't lose track of that, then
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
No, yeah, 100%. And I mean, I think you don't ever lose that. Like your like core value, despite like the different people that you play. You know, you might have to adjust the levels,
yeah,
right, depending on the situation. But I think at the end of the day, bro, there was this dude. You should watch it. It's Soft White Underbelly. Kyle Kilausing.
I've heard of it.
It's great, you know, because it's just like the guy was, you know, top 4 junior golfer in the world.
Oh yeah, and then he went to jail, right? Or
Yeah,
something.
he went to jail, was at Halava, and you know, it's yeah, having to build up this personality to survive, but like what you were saying, like he never lost sight, or I mean, he did lose sight, but
he reeled
refound
himself
his
back in.
he refound himself and his values, you know. I mean, fuck, 10 years in prison will do that to you, you know what I mean? And
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's a really inspiring story.
Yeah, I
you know,
actually
despite what he
watched
went
that
through.
that interview maybe like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, at work. I was
Yeah.
just watching it and I was like, damn. I don't think I would have the mental or emotional resiliency
Yeah.
to reel myself back in.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like you have to be strong.
Yeah.
right? And like, even if like prison wasn't involved, right?
Yeah.
Like just to lose track of yourself like that, and
Yeah.
then fuck, and then just say to yourself like, the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
And fix yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
And I think too, it kind of goes to like that multiple character, question is like maybe people are building these, trying to find new characters because they feel like they've lost themselves.
That could be it,
You know what I mean?
because I mean, like, some people just have so much trauma that they want to cover it,
Yeah.
right? And fortunately, I don't think I've lived through much trauma,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Trauma will fuck you up, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess really won't be able to relate until, I mean, God forbid, I go through something that's so traumatic. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to. I guess what I'm talking about has no. Fuck. Again, I can't think of the fucking word.
Backing?
There's no backing to
there's
what
no
I'm
backbone?
saying,
Yeah.
which is essentially like I feel kind of bad for talking about it because I have no experience with it.
Yeah.
It's just like what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it could, at the end of the day, it could be different. I'm just talking shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think everybody has like a right to just have an opinion, and it's just insightful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think, I think that's also like a good way to think about it too. Is just like sometimes people are just finding themselves, and it does suck to feel like you've lost yourself and to kind of have to build that up and try to find it.
Yeah.
And
I do feel like,
I don't know what I do.
yeah, right? Like I said, I don't think I'd be like emotionally or mentally capable of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, struggling builds character. Maybe,
Struggling builds character, bro.
maybe they just dug through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
when the time comes, like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
That's tough. I don't know if I would be able to do that.
Yeah.
I would probably just lose myself.
Yeah. And that's why it's the people you have in your life too, right? Like surrounding yourself with people that just support you regardless.
Yes, and I think that fear of losing myself is why I'm also so calculated in every decision I make. And why I'm at a sociable disadvantage, because I'm just thinking like, dude, you know what
This is not me.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, right? Like,
Yeah.
but I feel like that's a good thing too, because if you don't put yourself in those situations, I mean, they may not be situations at the time, but
Yeah.
things happen.
Yeah.
If you don't put yourself into those situations, then you won't have to dig yourself out of those situations.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I'm so calculated with every decision I make.
Yeah.
Right.
Seems like you have a pretty good sense of self.
No.
Yeah? You don't think so? I feel like you do. I mean, the fact that, I don't know. Why don't?
I mean,
Well, what? Why?
I'm very and I was thinking about this the other day, actually. I'm very like I have a really addictive personality,
Bro, same.
and it's horrible, right? But it's fun at the same time, because everything I do, like, I'm doing it at 110%. And maybe for like the 3, 4, 5, 6 months that I'm into it, it's like the best days of my life. But that's also a bad thing. And I was thinking about it because, like, I just make so much wrong decisions, so much poor decisions.
Oof.
Not a plug to the channel, because this is the channel, but I make so much poor decisions, like, and that's why I can't what's that called? I can't reference our other conversation because that video isn't on our podcast, because my dumbass didn't just get the 4-channel mics in the first place.
It's all right. We'll just re-record it.
It's not gonna be natural though, But I lost my train of fucking thought. What was I saying? What were we talking about?
You make so many bad decisions, but like you
Okay.
have all this energy to like go at 110% at
Yes.
things.
So I just make so much bad decisions, and I'm 110% at whatever decision I make, good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because I make those decisions emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
And in another episode that's unreleased, we're talking about rationality versus emotion, right?
Yeah.
And I said that I'm this much rational compared to this much emotional. But that was bullshit, bro. I think I'm fucking
Super
a lot of poor decisions. Actually, all of my poor decisions came from an emotional.
place.
Yeah.
What was the emotion?
That's a good fucking question because I don't know. It's like because I was about to say because I'm sober now, but I still drink alcohol. But because I'm not on any substances other than alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for like a pick me up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That just makes me sound like a fucking druggie. But that's what it is, right? Because like, dude, you pick up something new and like, fuck, it feels good,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, no matter what it is, big or small, like just something that makes you happy day by day.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just makes you feel good. It gives you
Yeah.
something to look forward to. Like, fuck, I wake up in the morning like, oh fuck, I can't wait to shoot another episode of Poor Decisions. Yeah,
I'm just straight plugging it right now.
yeah. But I mean, like, this isn't really a bad decision.
Yeah.
It's more of like a fuck. It's gonna sound gay, like a digital diary of our thoughts, right? Like, unlike other podcasts that has like topics
Yeah.
and like is structured, like we have no structure.
Uh-huh.
Even without the camera, if we didn't have the camera rolling, this is the types of conversations we would have anyway. So why not record it, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just like always all in on my bad choices. And that's something like I need to fix.
Why are they bad?
I wouldn't say bad, but it's just like, because like, I mean, with anything I pick up, like, I invest so much time, money, and effort into it. And it's like, and it's only a fling, you know? Like, so back to what I was saying, that I was thinking about this the other day. Outside of breaking, I had no other like hobby or
Mhm.
anything in my life that I've like kept around.
Yeah.
And even breaking, like I don't even break anymore.
Yeah.
But like when I look back at it, that's like the only thing that I kind of held on to for a while, and
Yeah.
I just let it go.
Yeah.
Compared to like all of these things that I've been taking up in the past 5 years, maybe
Yeah.
some of them last like 6 months.
Yeah.
Like all my photography stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I still like photography. It's just I like photography. It's a situational thing, like when I travel, I like to bring my camera.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Like when I'm outside of my normal scenario.
Yeah.
But like I said, other than breaking, like every other hobby I've picked up, I just kind of
Yeah.
I haven't found my thing that's like that I could hold on to as much as breaking was for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was thinking about it, and I was so like bamboozled by it. That's not even the right word, but like I was so like, why did it take me so long to realize this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why can't I hold on to something as much as I held on to breaking?
So, this is a good question. What do you think made you hold on to breaking? What was it about it?
That's a good fucking question too. I mean, it was fun, but I mean, like every other hobby I picked up was fun.
Yeah.
But the commitment and dedication that I put into breaking was like more than any other thing I put into.
Yeah.
and I just haven't found anything that I'm willing to put that much time, effort, and money into.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think it was like who I was at the time as
Mhm.
well, and like the group, you know, because like fuck, it's life, you know. Like people tend to like, you know, we're not as tight. Like
Yeah.
our whole group isn't as tight as you know we were like 15 years ago, and that's life.
Uh-huh.
But like at the time, it was just so like tight knit
Mm-hmm.
that that was your life,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
And now it's like sounds gay, but like there's like a hole in me now
Mm.
that I don't have that same backing social group. I don't know how to describe it,
No, yeah.
right?
I understand what you're saying.
Like I just don't have that same thing that just kept me hooked.
Yeah.
Because I mean at the end of the day, I feel like it was more the people and the experiences that I was having
Mm-hmm.
over like the hobby,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But like yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. It's just crazy to me because like I was literally thinking like I promise you too. Like I was literally like sitting on my couch and I was like, I had nothing to do. There's like nothing good to watch on TV, and I was just like, I just sat there like just thinking.
Yeah.
Like TV off, my computer was off. My phone was on the table, and I was just thinking about it. And I was like, damn, like how far have I strayed from who I was back then, and like is that a good thing or a bad thing that it's not like how it was before?
Yeah. Sounds like you're longing for community, bro.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's also like the effort that I want to put into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm fucking so tired,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I know it's like energy is like a give and take, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to give energy to get energy.
Mm-hmm.
And like, dude, I'm already like low energy as
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
You know.
It must be exhausting to like kind of have to pick up all of these things all the time and still feel, like I guess not necessarily unfulfilled, but just wanting more.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And like I guess like if I could like group up all the things that I've tried to pick up in the past 15 years, everything other than breaking was like a singular activity. You know,
Yeah.
like I could do it by myself.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what ruined it for me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's also like I'm scared to like when I pick something up, there's always a community for everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like it just goes back to like my social, I guess, how sociable I am. Like I can't like be like, hey guys, I'm you know, like I can't put myself into a brand new community.
Yeah.
Like it's hard.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're right. It's the community is
Yeah.
probably what I'm missing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, what was I gonna say? So it is exhausting, right? You can agree.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, cause like you for example, like you're still like very much in the
Mhm.
lifestyle.
Mhm.
You know, very much still a part of the scene. You know, like how have you been able to hold on to it for? Cause dude, it's been a while.
It's been a long time, bro.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I had my own issues with breaking, bro. Like for sure. Um, how have I been? At least now, like I've been able to hold on to it because I'm enjoying the process more. But that's just breaking in general. You know what I mean? As like just like the art form. But when you talk about community, I mean, I think the way I feel about it is, I don't think I'm ever gonna have like our group of friends.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a once in a lifetime.
Yeah,
You know,
like the times that we had in like high school and like post
yeah,
high
like no
school.
homo. That was probably the best
Yeah.
That was the best fucking run.
Yeah.
that, you know.
Just practice and then just get sloshed after at
Yeah.
Landon's.
Yeah.
Shout out Landon Tamanaha.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to get him on an episode too.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I mean, like, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And like, I'm thinking about it too, and like, I've been playing, like, I picked up soccer again, and like coming back to your point with the community, and like, I feel like that's maybe the reason why I still play.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, it's a community, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have a team. It's
Yeah.
like our roster has like 24 people maybe on it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's tight knit, but it's also like I can't like hit them up on the weekend and be like, hey, you guys want to do something?
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
how our group of friends
Yeah.
were. It's like maybe I was just trying to like maybe branch out, like get, because we're friends, like, but I'm not like, I can't do the same shit I do with you guys with them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's how I felt in college too. That's I mean, it's like, like I had a lot of friends, but like when you're constantly searching for that, like you're constantly comparing this group of people or this group of people with like what you had,
Yeah.
what you left behind. That's hard.
tough.
It's
Yeah.
hard. That's hard. No, it's like depressing.
Yeah, I can. That's actually, it's really good that you brought that up, because I feel like it did shed some light on like what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like now I guess I can understand it
Yeah.
a bit more. Now it's just up to me to see if I can use this to my advantage.
Yeah.
Which a lot of the times, like, I'll give advice, but like I'll get advice, but like following through is like the hardest part, right?
Yeah.
Like just putting myself out there more, and it's like coming back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean I mean, people say, like I forget what it actually, no, I don't know. I forget what people say, but basically it's like, you give yourself the best advice in a way. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I feel like that makes a lot of sense, because if you're thinking it, that's the truest form of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you choose to act upon your own advice, that's a different story.
Right. Right. Yeah. And honestly, like, people, as you can hear as much advice as you want, but people only change for themselves.
Yeah. And I think it's also like, I'm just so comfortable. Like, I haven't really been uncomfortable in a while.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what's fucking me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at 40 right now. We'll go another 5. I think this was a good one.
This is a great one.
It's really insightful. I feel like, not even just talking shit, but like, I do feel like like I said, like, it shed some light on like the topics I was thinking in my head, and like these aren't like, it's not like we plan any of these topics either,
No, not at all.
which is
Not at all.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like a therapist.
Yeah, no, but it's good.
Yeah, but don't take my advice. At the end of the day, this is just the shit that goes on in our heads.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. And I feel like it's ever since we started doing this, which is so funny, because I think we had like maybe like 4 episodes that are unreleased because of audio issues, but like those are some of the best fucking conversations I've ever fucking had.
Yeah, because they were real.
Like, so insightful. Like, not just like, it was like very comedic too at the same time, but like very insightful. Like, I actually took stuff away from those conversations.
Yeah. It wasn't just like shooting shit.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it
we
was.
we shot a couple.
We shot a lot of
some
shit.
booty shots.
But like, you know what I mean? Like, it was very like defining conversations.
Yeah. Speaking your truth.
Yeah. Which is another thing. I don't know. Like, when for some reason, like, ooh, excuse me. For some reason, when a camera's on, like, I'm just more willing to out myself.
Yeah. 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 I mean. Yeah.
I feel like we just all have an understanding that this shit can go deep.
Yeah, and we can what I really like about the podcast is because it's called Poor Decisions, but it's also just like unmasking ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Letting people see you,
For who you are.
yeah, and not as they perceive you
Yeah.
from the surface level.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and it's
Right.
funny because it's
'Cause who knew
ironic
we
that
were
it's
this philosophical.
yeah, it's ironic that it's called Poor Decisions because
Which is why it's so fucking great, though, at the
Yeah.
same time, you
Yeah.
know?
because it is in a way a poor decision to, a lot of times people think it's a poor decision to unmask.
Right. Yeah, I
You
can
know.
see that.
But at the same time, a lot of times people reveal their true selves when they're drunk.
Yeah, 100%. I do a lot of crazy shit when I'm drunk. I just let go,
Yeah.
you know? I
And the
just fucking-
podcast is about letting go.
Yeah. Right, essentially, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and it's crazy because we're doing this, like, sober.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's my comfortability.
Yeah.
Fucking big words.
Yeah.
But, like, my level of that
Yeah.
has gotten, like, so much bigger.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm more, like, I'm more willing to talk about these things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, things that maybe I wouldn't have if we didn't have those 4 previous unreleased episodes where we were just sloshed and talking.
Yeah.
It's like muscle memory, right? Like training.
Yeah.
So now it's like, dude, you guys have already heard me, like,
Yeah.
talk about vulnerability. And
Yeah.
so, like, now I can do that shit sober,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah. I mean, you found a community where you can be honest.
Yeah.
Where you feel like you can be honest and you don't have to be anything.
Well, I feel like, see, that was my main goal, right? Because, like, what I was saying in another episode too was, like, I hate content creators
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like it's so, like, surface level
Mhm.
and it's fake.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, that's, I didn't want this to become that.
Right.
I wanted it to be, like, genuine, like, thoughtful, like a thoughtful process without being too scripted,
Yeah.
which is essentially, like, it's working.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's working.
It's cool, bro. This is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
This is fun. This is cool.
You know what's crazy too is we've had this idea to do a podcast for, like, a good while now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, before I had even moved into this place, I think we always just thought about it, but just never committed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it's just cool seeing, like, an idea come into fruition,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And become, like, an actual, that's 45, an actual, like, I don't even know the words for it. But it's good that it's becoming what I don't want to say because,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all had the idea.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I feel good that it's coming out as we collectively want it to come out,
Yeah.
right?
God damn. What an episode.
That was a pretty good episode.
Bro, Kaipo is on one. Yeah, that was a great chat. Stay tuned. It's Poor Decisions, and
You know, next week it'll probably be just us again.
yeah, and that's
because
fine.
Ethan and them are going on vacation, so we're gonna have 2 episodes with just me and Sean. Maybe we can get
Yeah.
Landon.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll try.
Yeah.
We'll get like 2 more guests maybe.
yeah. We just gotta fucking bomb them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, like
But-
I'm pretty sure the boys would be more than happy. They just need to get fucking pushed
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully we'll release another episode next week. Thank you for stopping by. That's
Love
pretty good.
you.